Hi everybody, I'm Shino back again, and welcome to episode 2 of Lesbani with Shino. And in this episode, we're going to cover how to greet someone. So, there's a couple different ways you can go about this. I'm going to teach them all to you right here today. Uh, Make sure to join the Discord. I'll put that in the description if you're interested in learning the language. Make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up to date with all these lessons. And with that out of the way, let's get into it. So, for a general hello, the word for that is "stokyo." We have it written out, and you can use this almost any time that you're greeting someone. Like almost any time, it'll work. Just "stokyo." If you take away nothing else from this video, remember "stokyo" and "heknu." So "heknu" is the general word for goodbye. You can use this anytime that you're like saying goodbye to someone, you're leaving them, you're gonna go somewhere else. Anytime that you are parting with someone else, heknu is a valid option. Now, getting to specific ones, the Lesbani term for good morning, that's nyobi. So, as it says on the bottom, this one is only allowed if both you and the person you are greeting are currently in a place where it is morning. So, it's up to interpretation on your end of what you want to define as morning. I don't want to make it too stressful, but nyobi, that's what you use for good morning. And good afternoon, that's paske. So again, similar to the way nyobi worked, this one is only applicable if both you and the person you're greeting are currently somewhere where it is afternoon. And uh, again, Tokyo, this applies to everything, like everything. But if you want to get more specific, then that's when you can start like getting into like yobi and paske and all that. Good evening is yando. So I'm gonna try to not repeat myself too much, but yeah, if you and the person you are greeting are somewhere where it is like evening, then you can use yando to greet them. Now, this next one, English doesn't have this, but good night, as in hello. So the word for that is kusko. Uh, Once again, only applicable if it is nighttime for both people. And if it doesn't apply, you can always just get by with stokyo. That's always perfectly fine. Now, good night, as in goodbye. I'm sure the one we're all used to when we think of good night. That's nyare. So, similar to the way that Cusco worked, it is only for night use if both people are somewhere where it is night. Otherwise, you must use heknu to say goodbye to them. The Lesbani term for see you later, that is ukyari. So, this one you can only use if you are very, very sure that after you part with the person you're saying goodbye to, you are going to see them again at some point. Now, this point, it works the best if it's kind of relatively close to the time that you're saying goodbye, but it doesn't have to be. Like, I'm sure in English you've all said see you later to some friend and you didn't see him again for like 5 years. But yeah, Yadi works very similar to see you later in English. So now, when you're introducing yourself, because that's part of greeting someone too, you might want to say your name. So the word for that is kabuya. So that means my name is. And this word, you always place it after your name. So like as example here, I say if your name is Jacob, you would say Jakob Kabuya. So we'll get into that more when we get into the grammar episode, but just know Kabuya always comes after the name. And the last word of this video is nice to meet you. Kind of ironic that it's at the end, but that is Zonyespur. And you are only allowed to say this to someone the first time you are meeting them. Now that is very similar, if not exactly how it works in English. Otherwise, if it is not the first time, if this is a recurring visit, if you're seeing them again, you must use a different word to greet them. So nothing too difficult. And now that we have some words out of the way, let's try and decipher a basic introduction. that you might like actually hear. So, 부탁이야, 가수는 가보야, 정했어. I'll give you a few seconds if you want to try and decipher that. Pause the video if you need more time, but I'm going to give you 10 seconds to see if you can figure this out, starting now. All right, time's up. All right, so I'm going to reveal the translation now. And this means, hello, I'm Catherine. Nice to meet you. So, my real name is not Catherine, okay? That's just the first name that popped into my head. So, there. Thank you so much for watching. Next episode, we're going to learn how to count to 10. So, that'll be fun. Finally start getting some numbers out of the way. Make sure to subscribe if you are interested in learning the language. Join the Discord. I'll put a link in the description. Great community of people interested in learning. And yeah, uh, that'll be it for today's episode. So, Shino out. Bukkyati!